There are many data sources when one considers unleashing ML and AI algorithms on. So obviously, the big data sources are the macroeconomic data, demographic data, social data, typical income data, customer and consumer index data. Then there are interesting data sources like weather data. Weather plays a very important role. Then you have typical purchase data and more interesting loyalty card data. Then you have music consumption data, media consumption data. So you very quickly find that there are many data sources. Now the hardest bit is trying to connect all of them. Do you have the same consumer in all of them? Do you have the same consumer group in all of them? And if you get this data from so many sources, is there a way to integrate them properly? Because the data integration is very hard. And it can lead to very many erroneous conclusions if you combine pools of data that shouldn't really be combined, or don't have common indices that allow you to connect them together in one seamless way. To add to the complexity of data integration is what we call NaN. NaN stands for not available number, which basically means some data fields are empty. Either the data was not collected, or improperly stored, or something was lost in translation, and so suddenly that data is no longer available. So very quickly we find that the big problems of machine learning are not even identifying data sources, but in getting them all together, normalizing them, and then cleaning them up. Cleaning by the tense, what I mean by that is connecting them together, and finally filling in the missing data fields. Now there are many ways to fill the missing data fields, right? One, you either say anything that is missing I'm going to drop entirely. That's the easiest solution. Or if you could say that, hey, you know what, I'm not going to drop it, I'm going to look at what the past value was, kind of average it out, and if it's unavailable, use the average value as the substitute for the actual value. Or you could say, I'm going to take the min and max of the ranges and randomly pull a number that will fill that particular data slot that I have. There are many ways, each one of them are fraught with their own sets of pitfalls and issues associated with them. So in addition to data sources and data connections, the cleanup of the data, or more importantly, filling out the missing fields in data, is a very big issue. And the last bit is what we call normalization. Normalization is quite simple conceptually, which is to say that we all know that weights of people go in tens of pounds. So you have numbers all the way from 1 to maybe 300 pounds, right? We know that heights of people go in feet and inches. So you go all the way from 4 feet maybe, all the way to maybe 7 feet tall, and that's about it. It's a narrow range of numbers from 4 to 7. The other one is a wide range of numbers from maybe 50 all the way to 350. So when you have data fields with data in various ranges, suddenly when you put them all together, you have to normalize them, get them all to some range that is acceptable. That process is called normalization. And typically there are many ways to do that, but typically you try to arrange all these numbers between 0 and 1 so that there is parity as you look at two data fields and what they mean and how an algorithm can incorporate these data fields. So when you do ML and AI on large data, it's very important to first get disparate and diverse data. It is very important to make sure the data is connected. So data about me and my shopping and my credit card purchases and perhaps my media consumption all linked to me. That single connector is very important. Then you want to fill in the missing data fields. Well, Pradeep, he doesn't necessarily go to the bar every single day or every single week, and there may be a missing, not available number for a particular Friday. So finding missing data fields and filling them up is very important. And the last bit is normalizing and regularizing data. So data in different streams all kind of look similar in height and weight. So these are typical problems and how you address them and the typical kinds of data you deal with.